Why did my mom believe her new husband instead of my doctor when he said I was faking my cancer symptoms? The bruise on my abdomen wouldn't heal, and Dr. Patel said we needed to run tests immediately. I was 16, sitting on the examination table in a paper gown while Mom held my hand and her new husband, Derek, stood in the corner scrolling through his phone. The bruise had appeared 3 weeks ago, dark purple, spreading across my left side like spilled ink, and no matter how carefully I moved or how much I rested, it kept getting bigger. Dr. Patel pressed gently on the area and I winced. She asked about other symptoms and I told her about the exhaustion that made climbing stairs feel impossible, the night sweats that soaked through my sheets, the weight I'd lost without trying. She ordered blood work, an ultrasound, and a CT scan, saying the combination of symptoms and the persistent bruising could indicate something serious that needed immediate attention. Derek looked up from his phone and asked how much all these tests would cost. Dr. Patel said insurance would cover most of it, but Derek shook his head and said that sounded excessive for a bruise, that teenage boys got bruises all the time from sports and rough play. I told him I hadn't played sports in weeks because I was too tired, that this felt different from normal bruises. Dr. Patel agreed and explained that unexplained bruising combined with fatigue and night sweats warranted investigation because they could be signs of blood disorders or malignancies. Derek laughed and said that doctors always wanted to run expensive tests to cover themselves legally, that I probably just needed more iron in my diet and better sleep habits. Mom looked between us, her expression uncertain. She'd only been married to Derek for 4 months, and I could see her calculating whether to trust my doctor of 10 years or her new husband who worked in pharmaceutical sales and claimed to know how the medical industry operated. Dr. Patel's voice got firmer. She said this wasn't about covering liability. This was about a teenager presenting with concerning symptoms that could indicate leukemia or lymphoma, and that delaying diagnosis could be dangerous. Derek crossed his arms and told Mom that doctors scared patients into unnecessary procedures all the time, that he'd seen it constantly in his work, and that I was probably just anemic and seeking attention because I resented him being in the family. Mom's hand loosened in mine. She asked Dr. Patel if we could wait a week and see if the bruise improved with rest and better nutrition before doing expensive tests. Dr. Patel looked at me with concern and said she strongly recommended against waiting, that if this was something serious, a week could matter significantly. But Mom was already standing, telling me to get dressed, saying we'd give it a week and see how I felt. Derek put his arm around Mom's shoulders and said she was making a smart decision, not letting herself be manipulated by fear tactics. In the car, I tried to explain how wrong I felt, how the exhaustion wasn't normal tiredness, how I could feel something inside me that wasn't right. Derek turned around from the passenger seat and said I needed to stop being dramatic, that teenage boys didn't get cancer, and that I was obviously trying to sabotage Mom's happiness because I hadn't accepted him as part of the family. Mom told me Derek had a point, that I'd been difficult ever since the wedding, and maybe some of my symptoms were stress-related. The week passed, and the bruise spread further, wrapping around my side toward my back. I started finding smaller bruises on my arms and legs that appeared without cause. The exhaustion intensified until I was sleeping 12 hours a night and still waking up depleted. My appetite vanished, and eating felt like forcing down cardboard. I asked Mom to call Dr. Patel, but Derek said we'd agreed to wait and see, and that I needed to stop trying to manipulate the situation. He suggested I was Googling symptoms and convincing myself I was sick, that teenagers did this for attention. Mom agreed we should stick to the plan, give my body time to recover naturally. By the second week, I could barely get out of bed. My skin had taken on a grayish pallor, and dark circles shadowed my eyes. I showed Mom the new bruises, counted 7 on my left arm alone. She touched them gently, and I saw worry flicker across her face. Then Derek said, "Full story is linked below or on my channel."